Shalom. Kol Halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever, the 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that look like those heathen nations. This is not a black thing. And to the few Akwath that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And we're going to expose some lies. As a matter of fact, the lie that's formed around the phrase conspiracy theorists, all right, and what the word con, with something what con really means, and not the newspeak legalese, fraud. Con does not mean against, only in a form of when it's used fraudulently within legalese. All right. So I believe the name of this will be conspiracy theorists and the fraud behind the term. So I'm gonna start in the book of Ezra. All right. Bring out some scriptures, break down the definition of the word conspire and destroy the lie, which is conspiracy theorists, basically with one word, the word construction. Proving that, when you put con in front of a word, C-O-N, it actually means together, to build something, not against. All right. And they're using it fraudulently. And the people who created the term committed one of the most heinous crimes and then covered up their suspicion with this term conspiracy, which have now admitted it all these years later. And we're talking about the Kennedy assassination. All right. People involved in the CIA killed the president. Those people and everyone that's connected to them should everyone that's a part of the CIA today that can whose hire and roots can be traced back to those conspirators, as they say. All those people should be released and fired. All right, and then anyone who and all those people that they should not be collecting pensions. Their family shouldn't be collecting pensions. That would be a just thing to do. All right, but that sounds too much like right. Okay, hit them with their own thing. ESAV likes to come after your finances and make it impossible for you to live. All right, that's what they do, or put you in debt to the point to where you become a debt slave. So let's get right to it. Let's go to the book of Ezra. And this is Ezra, the 4th chapter. All right, starting at verse 1. And it reads, Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of captivity builded the temple of Yahweh, the power of Israel, all right, and basically they all came down. All right, I'm going to jump down to verse 4. Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building. Same thing that they do now, attacking our videos, getting hirelings to make counter videos, which always prove to be false. There's no weapon against the truth, that can prosper against it. All right, and hire counselors against to frustrate. Take into to consideration that word counselor. What do they call lawyers? Who are the number one people that use that term? The pros and cons, and use the word con as against. And hire counselors against them to frustrate the purpose all the days of Cyrus, the king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius of Persia. So for a lifetime, they were, coming with these lies. Jumping down to verse 9. Then wrote Rehum, the chancellor of Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of his companions, the Dionysius, Aspergites, the Tarpelites, and the Aphrasites, the Archevites, the Babylonians, the Sushanites, the Divites, and the Elamites. These were all people of color, by the way. All bronze-colored brown people. None of them were, to the best of my knowledge here, the majority of these people were people of color, right? So I'm pretty sure none of these were Edomite nations here. And it says, and the rest of the nations whom great and noble Aspenah brought over and set in the cities of Samaria, and the rest that are in the side of the river at such time. So the northern kingdom was already gone. You had all these heathens. These will be a lot of a lot of people who converted later. Right along with Esau, Edom, following the ways of the Lord, calling themselves Ishis. Okay. This copy of the letter that they sent unto him, unto Artaxerxes the king, thy servant, the men on the side of the river, at such time. So basically, they wrote this letter. Matter of fact, they said, "Be it known unto the king that the Judeans, you remember the dodge, the hijack, the word or the Israelites." That word, that JEW word, was used in place of Israelite. All right, that was another hijack right there. So dodge that hijack, and that because it's the 12 tribes of Israel, not the 12 tribes of Jewish. That's a fraud. Okay, it says, which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and bad city, wow, and have set the walls thereof and joined the foundations. Be it known now that the king, that if this city be builded, the walls, and basically this is a true page out of the book of Esau. You can apply these. I'm gonna go ahead and just put all these scriptures in red. All right, that's what I do. Anything that's concerning the behavior of Esau, Edom, or Esau, I highlight in red. But it says, be it known, the king of the Israelites, which came up from thee to us, come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and bad city, and have set up the walls thereof, and joined the foundation. Be it known unto the king that if this city be builded, the walls set up again, then will they not pay toll, tribute, custom, and thou shalt endanger and darnage the revenue of the kings, that search may be made of the book of the records of thy father, so that thou shalt find the book of the records, and know that the city is rebellious, city and hurtful unto kings and provinces, and that they have moved sedition within the same of old, for which cause was the city destroyed. All right. And just getting, and taking along, forward, the king began to do this inquiry and found out that his father, indeed, it was in the records. See, it's important to search the records, important to search the history. That's why Job 8:8 says, be prepared to do the search of thy fathers. Hence the reason why, the Ish people, claim their heritage according to their mothers, which goes against the records that are in the holy book. It's through your father are you determined to be an Israelite, not your mother. A mother does not control the heritage of her children. It's the seed line. So if someone who has an Israelite mother and a heathen father, that is a true definition of a mamzer. All right. If someone has an Israelite father, it doesn't matter what their mother is. They are of the seed of Jacob, the seed of Yasharallah. His name was changed to Yasharallah, which is the proper way of saying Israel in the Hebrew tongue. Ezra 5:17. Now, therefore, if it seem good to the king, let there be a search made of the king's treasure house, which is there in Babylon, whether to be so that our decree was made of Cyrus the king to build this house of God at Jerusalem, and let the king send his pleasure to us concerning this matter. So what did the king do? He went to make sure, or to see what was going on. All right, and the conspirators, all right, as they would call them, those who were against You know, these liars, these frauds who tried to play this fraud upon the Israelites, well, they were busted. Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls where the treasures were laid up in Babylon, and there was found at Achmetha in the palace that is in the province of the Medes a roll, and therein was a record thus written: the first year of Cyrus king, the same Cyrus king made a decree concerning the house of God at Jerusalem, that the house be builded, the place that was offered sacrifices, and let the foundation thereof be strongly laid, the height thereof 3 cubits, and the breadth thereof 3 cubits. All right, so basically it was true that the house of the Lord was to be built the way it is being built now with the lively stones, which are actually the men of the Lord, not a physical building. See, this last temple is being built. It's already built. It's the prophets, the men of the Lord, not an actual building. All right. And that's the mistake that the frauds are making. Talking about the third temple. The third temple is the judges, the men, the 144,000, 12,000 of men from each of the 12 tribes that have been chosen since the foundation of the earth to be the world government, the universal government, in fact. All right. So let's get to the evidence now. So let's search up the word conspire. All right. And I'm going to show you how wicked these people are, how they conspire to do sinful things. Matter of fact, let's do that now. Here we go. And like Columbo, and the reason Columbo was on the screen that whole time was that Columbo would always tell you to follow the money. And the money and everything. I just did a lesson the other day, how the Jerusalem Post was bragging about, the J's control over the world. When someone else says it, they're, labeled an anti-something. All right, but they made an article about the 50 most influential and how they control banking, they control government, they control entertainment, Hollywood, etc., etc. All right, so it's just a fact, and they definitely control financing. So, Columbo said, follow the money.
Do you guys remember the lithium mines in North Carolina? Well, the conspiracy has gotten just a little bit deeper. The company that has rights to mine in that area is called Albemarle. They mine the lithium in that mountain. But Albemarle also has other
And Albemarle is what kind of name?
investors. Their shareholders are Vanguard and BlackRock, of course. But who do you think has the most investments in mining lithium there? None other than Douglas M. Hoff. And who is that, you might ask? That is Kamala Harris's husband.
Ooh-wee.
And who has the final sign-off on those permits at that lithium mine in North Carolina? Kamala Harris. So BlackRock, Vanguard, and Charles Schwab control the retirement investments for Kamala Harris's husband. This rabbit hole runs so deep, and it's all starting to make a lot of sense. And you can find all of this out with a simple research. Stay informed, stay safe, and keep your eyes on Jesus. Do you guys remember the lithium mine?
Keep your eyes on your Hawashai. Now, I don't know where this is going to fit into this whole plan, but it was either collateral damage from a result because you cannot control chaos. They tried to, and all the evidence coming out that whether manipulation and control, or this place also has something that they want. It's one or the other. But funny thing is that it's getting no media coverage, and we're talking about Acapulco, Mexico.
Were you guys aware that this was also happening in Mexico around the same time that Hurricane Helene hit North Carolina? Y'all see what happened in Mexico? Why is it only people are talking about North Carolina? Look at that, y'all. Water just everywhere. Dirty, murky, muddy water everywhere. The whole town is literally flooded with water. This is Acapulco, Mexico. Look at that, y'all. Look at this. So apparently there was a storm off the coast of Acapulco over here, and that's all it was supposed to be, y'all. But as soon as it touched down, it literally jumped to a Category 3 hurricane. I didn't even know about this. Look at this, y'all. Mexico experienced about 9 feet of water. Look at this, y'all. Everybody's talking about the North Carolina, but nobody knows what's going on in Mexico. Look at this. In certain parts of Mexico, the water is up to your shoulders. And the crazy thing is, Mexico almost got hit again, but now Milton is literally doing a U-turn and coming to the East Coast. Look at that. See, they gotta hold on to things. That's how deep the water is. Did y'all know about this in Mexico? Bro, you see? Look at this, y'all. Cars are literally buried. This is literally the mud flood. This is, again, the mud flood. That's what I'm saying, man. I had no idea this was going on in Mexico because everybody is talking about Hurricane Helene in the United States. But yeah, man, Mexico got it bad, y'all. Wow. Look at that. Still going, y'all. Were you guys aware that this was also happening?
So, the plans and the motivation behind that has yet to be revealed. Like I said, I don't know if it was just collateral damage from uncontrolled chaos, or is there something in the soil and in the ground of Acapulco, Mexico, that is still to be found. But let's but as referring to Mr. Haas, all right, and it makes you wonder too, why does Kamala Harris not wear her husband's Jewish name? All right, what's the deal behind that? Let's go to Isaiah 29 and 15. And it reads, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us? And who knoweth us?" All right. So they try to hide, but they can't hide. All right. So let's go into this word conspire now. It says conspire, and it proved that the word con, you see, if you can see right here. All right. Let me get my pointer. Does not mean against, it means with. But they tell you in these courts fraudulently, they use it, they like to say the pros and cons or something, is used fraudulently here in the West. All right. But con, you see that? It says basically together. Con, with, together. All right. But it says aspire or plan maliciously, agree together to commit criminal reprehensive act. From the old French conspire, from Latin to agree, unite, plot, literally to breathe together, to assimilate. All right, a con means to assimilate, not against. Form of con, come with, together, see con. Spire, to breathe, see spirit. Perhaps on the notion of to agree by spoken oath to commit a bad act, or perhaps the notion to blow together musical instruments to sound in unison. So you can conspire to do something good. It doesn't have to be bad. All right. Neutral or good sense to contribute jointly to result. All right. Now let's go down. Let's pull up to conspirator, which is also right below it. One who plots evil acts or unlawful designs. Conspirator, from French conspirateur, from Latin conspiratorum, nominative conspiratorial, noun action from the past. To agree, to unite, to plot, literally to breathe together. See, if con means with, together, not against, they use it fraudulently. That's a conspiracy within itself. All right. Once again, you can conspire to do something that's positive, that's good. You don't have to necessarily do something, conspire to do something that is bad or wicked. Let's look up construction now, which is the one word that I often use to destroy people as soon as they come with that. Conspire means, especially lawyers, all right? Because I had a big debate with a lawyer and made her look foolish. But here, construction, and that's the word you use to prove this, the number one word. Act of constructing, matter of understanding, arrangement of words in translation, a sense from the Latin constructium, of putting or placing together a building. See, you're putting something together. You're not taking away. It's not against. You see? All right. So like I said, the name of this lesson was going to be conspiracy theorists and the fraud behind the term. Okay. The oldest sense of English goes to construe, layered meanings of construing, explaining, interpreting, explanation of words, a legal document which endures parliamentary language. Wonder what parliamentary language is. What construction do you put to this clause? Also constructionist. The act of building or making. All right. So con does not mean, for all you lawyers out there, all right, I outsmarted you in some of the highest courts, and it's a good feeling. And it looks like I'm gonna have to take upon that battle again, to reveal fraud and cover-ups. But as you saw, the president, who's not even so-called black, who's married to the enemy of your people, all right, is destroying their own people. Who was evil unto himself. They're doing that. That whole thing in down in North Carolina, they're doing that to other Edomites. All right, and it's always the ish. Okay, like I said, they make a video. Make a whole article. The Jerusalem Post made a whole article of the 50 most influential of them, and how they control the most influential people in the world because they influence the world. But yet, when someone points it out, Kanye, Candace Owens, they're labeled anti-semantics or anti-sim, and then they try to basically commit financial murder upon them. Because there's a scripture that said you take a man's earnings, you murder them. All right, someone could put that up on the comment board. I can't remember that scripture, but let's get one last scripture and shut this thing down. All right, which is Deuteronomy 13 and 14. So I think we made the point here. And it reads, then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true, and if the certain thing and such abomination is wrought among you. All right, so to get to the truth in the bottom of things, that's why it says how the things of Esau searched out, Obadiah 1:6. We have to go to the scriptures. All right, we were taught that it's important to understand and know the meaning of words. We here at the Great Millstone, have the best teachers that was set up here from on high. All right, and that being the apostles and the elder bishops. So with that, we're gonna give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash Kwam Yasharala Abad Babal.